Today's show is brought to you by Martinez Drywall. Around here, you don't gamble on who's going to finish your project. You go with a proven team. Martinez Drywall has built their reputation on reliability, craftsmanship, and a promise that they'll always make it right for the customer. From remodels to new constructions, they've got you covered. Martinez Drywall, where the house always wins, and so do you.
Diving deep into lives, the extraordinary ones. Firefighters, coach, managers, and more. Unique jobs and skills, we break them down to the core. Listen up close, there's so much to explore. Breaking it down, video games are all the fun. Dissect the passion, see what makes them run. To break it down, podcast shining a light on those who dare to live life a little differently. From sirens wailing to keys softly chiming. Stories to inspire, the moments we're finding. Ooh, from the mundane to the sublime, we unwind. Oh, what makes them tick? What's on their mind? Diving deep into lives, the extraordinary ones. Firefighters, coach, managers, and more. Unique jobs and skills, we break them down to the core. Listen up close, there's so much to explore. Breaking it down, video games are all the fun. Dissect the passion, see what makes them run. To break it down, podcast shining a light on those who dare to live life a little differently. On those who dare to live life a little differently. Each episode a new discovery. Unearthing lives full of mystery. The Break It Down podcast, coming at you strong. Tune in each week, let's break it down all episode long. The Break It Down podcast starts in 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, welcome to another episode of the Break It Down podcast. My name is Mathew Hansen, and today we have a multi-business owner. He's not only the owner of Schlangen Party Bus, Schlangen Kruggen, a multi-nutrient business owner. Also does a little bit of real estate on the side. Brent Schlangen. Brent, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm glad to be here. Good to see you, Matt.
Awesome. So I'm gonna just start it off. How do you keep all these businesses in order? More like, you got multiple businesses. How can you keep them all in order?
I think the biggest part, I get asked this question a lot, is kind of to keep that perfect balance. You also didn't mention I also have 4 kids. I'm getting married this weekend, so definitely a lot of different things to juggle. But for me, I think it's partly having a good team of people are trusting. My parents helps with me with the party bus. Schlangen's party bus, and I do deliveries for Menards and different companies, which help kind of manage their roles, and so it keeps business a little bit smoother, having people to rely on, kind of run the day to day. It gives me the freedom to kind of balance out when I have the time to do so.
How do you do like with like these multiple businesses? How do you take like the phone calls while you're driving one, dealing with the phone call for the nutrients business, or trying to get something planned for the party business? How do you keep everything organized as you're running it, or do you just send it to like a receptionist?
I actually handle a lot of organization myself, the messages, but I like to rely on like text messages, so that way I have it written down. I can go back to it, remember what I said. Instead of like a phone call, you sometimes forget what's been said on the phone call. You don't want to forget details, or you don't want to like misquote someone for like different things. You want to make sure you have something backup documentation of some sort. So I do rely a lot on messages, and that gives me like a little bit of freedom to get back either later in the day or like later in the week. Just be able to keep that communication rolling seems to help.
Perfect. So which business did you start off first, and then why'd you get into that business?
So I actually started my trucking company when I was 23. I started because I got an injury from work at a previous place I was working for. and I really didn't like how that whole situation was handled, and so I didn't want to go. Really, I want to go back to working a job for someone else just from that situation. So I ended up starting my own trucking company. Started with one truck, invested my whole life savings, which wasn't a whole lot at that time, but invested my life savings to get a truck started, and that's kind of blew up from there.
All right. And then the party bus business. How did you incorporate it into a party bus? And you actually have your own party bus.
Yes, I'm kind of funny. Originally, well, I guess back in college days, as a big partier, but I also appreciated giving people sober rides and making just a little bit of money that way. I figured instead of just running people around with a car, making $100, whatever, why not like bring 40 people at a time and make more money that way? So I ended up getting started with Party Bus. It was supposed to be just a side hobby, just to help people out. Until I realized how much licensing and all this other insurance, all these things that went into it. I was ended up kind of forced into a full-time business to kind of keep it rolling. And since I've been going on for 8 years now. So it's been going really well, built up a really good reputation. Um, yeah, pretty much number one rated in central Minnesota. So it's been going really well.
Nice, nice. Um, I'm guessing you're the driver of the party bus, correct?
Actually, I do most of the coordinating of the party bus. I actually have my own dad drive majority for me. I have some other part-time drivers. I'll drive maybe twice a year, but ultimately it gets to be too late for me with having all the kids and keeping the other things rolling. I try to take that time off and just focus on making sure the communication's set and all those things.
Give me your craziest party bus story that someone's puking everywhere. What's the craziest story you got?
What happens on a party bus got to stay on the party bus.
Fair, fair. Another one of your business adventures is the nutrients place. Well, like Healthy Fusion here in Wilmer. You have 6 other ones. Where are they?
So we have 6 locations on our team. We're the owner of 2. So we have Wilmer, Diffusion, and then Montevideo, which is Impact Nutrition. And there's other stores around the South area. And then we have a store all the way up in Brainerd. And we have one just close to us, which is in New London. So I think that's number 6. Right?
Yep. What is your favorite part about owning Healthy Fusion and helping with the other stores?
I think it brings back kind of the passion I started with. So when I went to college, I was going for athletic training, kind of getting to the nutrition side of things, learning more about my health and kind of bringing more nutrients to the side of things. But I really don't learn about that when you're in a young age of having the proper nutrition. You have the whole pyramid system back when you're growing up, and you realize it's actually kind of backwards. You're not even supposed to have as much carbs and things like they had on the bottom of that pyramid. So just kind of relearning the things of how to bring in more nutrition just in the college, and then that kind of translated to us owning our nutrition stores and now helping people get results. We've actually have people that have gone into like the doctor and they're like at high risk different diseases or like complications, and then they start to come see us and they'll lose some weight and bring their levels to a normal level, and they'll go back to their doctor a month later and then everything's looking good. So going from a dangerous situation to actually more of a positive situation. So it's been very rewarding to be able to help people out and kind of give them results. I also have my own personal results. I lost 50 pounds in 6 months and went back to gaining back about 25 pounds of muscle. So like I have my own story too of being like, hey, I did this. And I can show other people how to go through the process as well.
Cool. Besides your own, is there a different story or somebody else's story that you really are like inspired by?
As in like just a personal story, or what do you mean?
Just like, hey, they lost 100 and some pounds on it. Like, wow, that's really impressive. I'm going to use your story when I talk to other clients coming into the building.
We do have quite a few people that we've helped with like just I have some friends that have lost over 100 pounds that we've been able to help. Actually, like my fiance, we both lost 50 pounds in the using the products and stuff, and her mom's lost 85 pounds. So we have like this personal family stories of people we were able to help. But also like we've had one guy who's lost 200 pounds, and like that's huge.
Jeez.
That's like a huge life change. So it's very rewarding to be able to hear something like that.
What is your favorite Herbalife product?
For me, so we have so many. so it's hard to like pick one. But I'm really into, so we have the energy teas. That's easy, like you give in like every day. I need some caffeine in me. But really, I like the shakes. I think the shakes are like kind of the magic pill there of you got the nutrients from the shakes, give you more energy, more protein, the micronutrients. So that's definitely probably number one, just because really feel like people don't realize that that's what gives you the most energy is bringing that nutrients into your body, and the shakes definitely do that for you.
Cool. The one thing I didn't know about you is that you guys were in real estate. Tell me more about that.
So that's a newer thing for me. I'm finishing up my real estate license. I'm invested in I'm the owner of the commercial building in Montevideo. I'm also investing in a 17 complex in Arizona. So that's coming up here in the future here. So I'm super excited for that. So just getting to learn a little bit more about real estate and then be an investor in that way as well.
So what made real estate something that you were intrigued in?
I think the fact that it never loses value. So real estate always goes up in value every year, kind of goes with inflation. So knowing that you can kind of invest in something that's going to hold its value over long term and still like serve a purpose in the meantime seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah. So with all these businesses, you brought up that you've got 4 kids. Are you planning on passing any of these businesses down to them?
That's a good question. It'd be fun to have our kids take over a business or two. But I think what's cool, me personally, I was never forced to like choose a path I want to go and do in my life. Like my parents were really chill about like because they own a dairy farm that's been their family for almost 80 years, and they like never like forced me like, hey, take over the farm. They like let me choose my own path. So like I want to be able to provide the same freedom to my kids to be able to like, hey, I want to do this with you. And if they decide to do something else, then I'm totally cool with that as well. I just want to basically be able to let them chase after what their dreams are and do what's best for them. But I do know that we have some good businesses for them to take over, so it would be kind of fun to keep that in the family.
And a mass variety of them as well. It's not just a one mom and pop shop. It's multiple. You can go trucking. You can do a bus service or nutrients. You got many options for them. Maybe one kid for each business.
Yeah.
You did start unstoppable mentality. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I started an online program. Right now it's more of a group and anyone can join it. Unstoppable Mentality. It's on Facebook. It's a free group for anyone to join, and that's kind of talking more about like the mindset and all the things that are rolled into mentality. So for me, I think of it as like mentality is kind of like an identity. So like if someone says you're an alcoholic, that's what you're basically showing as your identity. Like, hey, I'm an alcoholic. So if I go in a bar, I'm going to have a drink because I'm this person. Well, I look at it in the same way. It's like if you say you have an unstoppable mentality, that's your identity. Like, hey, I'm going to have nothing stop me. I'm going to make sure my mindset's sharp. And you kind of do that by following the right people and kind of strengthening that skill or like your brain. Look at it as like a muscle. So if you go to the gym, you work on different muscles, you want to strengthen that. You kind of do the same thing with your mindset as well. So like I like to read books, I like to listen to podcasts, audibles, different ways to like bring in good information to my brain so that way I'm hanging on to that and kind of drowns out all the negative stuff. So it drowns out the anxiety, the stress, the sadness, the depression, like all those bad emotions, and kind of helps you bring in good emotions because everyone needs stress and anxiety in their life. You usually know how to balance it. Because if you have those things, what happens is now you actually have a feeling for something. You actually have a purpose to do that. You just got to make sure you can actually balance it out where you're actually bringing productivity into that area. I think of like an athlete, like they're bringing stress to the sport. Like if you're in football, you're kind of taking out an opponent. If you're a linebacker, you're going against the other side and putting pressure on there. You're building up that stress. But when you're like really good at way with the right way, that's when you perform at your highest level. So that's why I want to look at like, okay, how can you keep practicing these small stressors So that way you can really bring it to your mindset. And that's also includes like discipline and all these different areas that makes up this larger like picture of that mentality. And that's kind of what like brings you to that belief of being unstoppable.
Cool. So how do you handle negative feedback for any of your businesses?
I think the first thing is to pause. Anytime I get, let's say I'm in a situation where I'm frustrated or get mad, I try to make it like quick. I try and make it where it's like 5 minutes, let's go. I'm not thinking about it anymore. One of the books I read was the 5 second rule. And basically it's like count down from five. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's done. Not thinking about it anymore. Of course, if it's a situation where you have to get the resolve, you also want to make sure you're level headed. So you want to get the resolve first. You want to get to the right mindset first. And then that way you can resolve it with a clear head. So you're not using your frustration or anger and targeting someone and causing them pain just because you have a few moments of stress. You want to be able to kind of go back to it. You want to be able to balance it out. And one of the ways I do that is by like toning down and just making sure I'm at a level head. And if I'm like dwelling into this anxiety or stress, what I like to do is like find a YouTube channel, like motivation, like bring in good thoughts, good energy to me. And that kind of helps drown out that negativity.
Awesome. Where can people find you on the socials? I know it might be quite a bit, but where can they find you?
Ultimately, if you can search my name, it should be able to pop on pretty much every social. So Brent Schlangen, that's my main page. You can find me mostly on Facebook, but I'm also on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. I'm there. So, but again, you guys can also join my free group, which is Unstoppable Mentality. You can find that on Facebook.
Okay. Is there anything you want to tell anybody? Anything you want to get off your chest? Anything you got to talk about?
Words of wisdom to leave you guys off of. That's you put me on the spot then. Let me think for a second. I guess going back to saying, if you guys can take the time, like you guys you're listening to this probably because you like podcasts or things like that. I would encourage you guys to like find more people to follow that you really enjoy listening to, whether it be in Audible. And if you guys want any recommendations, definitely feel free to reach out to me because I'm a lover of different Audible books and things like that. So I'm always open to suggestions. I just encourage you guys to always bring in like good thoughts or good energy into your lives every single day.
Awesome. I love the words of wisdom. Well, Brent, I appreciate it. And I will for surely see you around town. That's for sure. But I appreciate you coming on and doing the show with us.
Absolutely. Loved it. Thank you, Matt.
Diving deep into lives, the extraordinary ones. Firefighters, coach, managers, and more. Unique jobs and skills, we break them down to the core. Listen up close, there's so much to explore. Break it down, video games are all the fun. Dissect the passion, see what makes them run. To break it down, podcast shining a light on those who dare to live life a little differently. From sirens wailing to keys softly chiming. Stories to inspire, the moments we're finding. Ooh, from the mundane to the sublime, we unwind. Oh, what makes them tick? What's on their mind? Diving deep into lives, the extraordinary ones. Firefighters, coach, managers, and more. Unique jobs and skills, we break them down to the core. Listen up close, there's so much to explore. Breaking it down, video games are all the fun. Dissect the passion, see what makes them run. To break it down, podcast shining a light on those who dare to live life a little differently. On those who dare to live life a little differently. Each episode a new discovery. Unearthing lives full of mystery. The Break It Down podcast.